Hey everybody, I wanted to make this quick video to let you know that I've just uploaded to my website, needlemeetsvinyl.com, 3 brand new Beatles pressings, and they are excellent sounding pressings. And it's been a little while since I've had some of these titles on the website, and I've had a lot of people emailing me asking when they're going to be on the website again, and here they are. And here is Bobby, by the way. He's here to say hello. Now the 3 titles we have, first, Rubber Soul, and this is Bobby's favorite Beatles album, by the way. This is Rubber Soul, and this is a mid-1970s UK stereo pressing, and this is about as dead quiet as I've ever heard Rubber Soul. Yes, and what do I mean by dead quiet? I mean, as far as surface noise goes, there is almost zero surface noise. Every once in a while, you run across a record that was just pressed so perfectly that you get just no surface noise. Now, for those of you that know, who've been collecting records over a long time, most records, almost all records in fact, have just a little bit of surface noise. You can hardly hear it ever when the music's playing, but you know, in between songs, you can always hear just a little bit of surface noise. This album has some of the least amount of surface noise I've ever heard. Now, that doesn't really matter all that much, because what matters is how the actual music sounds, and it sounds absolutely brilliant. Now, I'll show you what the record looks like here. It's on the Parlophone label, and again, this is a stereo UK pressing, and it has HTM on both sides in the dead wax, and it just sounds absolutely brilliant. Has all the low end that you want to hear when it comes to Rubber Soul. Has great clarity, and has a really cool stereo separation as well. Now, this is the original 1965 stereo mix. This is not the mix that came out in 1987, 88, when George Martin put out the Beatles CDs for the first time. He did a new stereo mix for Rubber Soul and Help. But this is the original 65 mix that I think, when it comes to stereo, is the way to go. This is the mix that I think sounds the best. The only way you can, by the way, get the original 1965 stereo mix on CD is if you buy the Beatles mono remasters box set. That comes with the 1965 stereo mixes of Help and Rubber Soul. But obviously, if you want to listen to the 65 mix in stereo, the best way to hear it is on vinyl, especially this pressing. It is amazing. It will blow your mind. So if you're looking for a beautiful pressing of Rubber Soul, this is the one for you. So head over to the website, check this out. All 3 of these will go insanely quick. I always say that, but it always happens. Usually as soon as I post the video, they go within an hour or 2. So if you want to check this one out, pick it up, head over there now and read about it and pick it up. The next Beatles album that I just posted to the website is Sgt Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, and this is again a stereo UK pressing, and this one is brilliant as well. I've had a couple of these identical pressings on the website before, and they all sound so phenomenal. If you are looking for a stereo pressing of Sgt Pepper, this is the way to go. It's so warm. It has all analog magic the whole way through, from the very start of Sgt. Pepper to the very end of the last piano chord to A Day in the Life. This is just a beautiful slice of pure analog magic. For some reason, I was stuttering when I was trying to say beautiful slice of analog magic. I don't know why that was hard to say, but it was. But this is just a fantastic pressing, and the way to go if you want to hear Sgt. Pepper in stereo. Now, some of you out there are probably saying, well, how does it compare to the Giles Martin 2017 remix, stereo remix? And it doesn't compare, because they're 2 different things. But my own personal preference, when I want to hear Sgt. Pepper, this is the pressing that I go to listen to it. Bobby's talking over there. He agrees. He actually sees some birds out there, and that's the sound he makes when he sees birds. But anyway, when it comes to listening to Sgt. Pepper in stereo, my preferred pressing to listen to is this one, this original stereo pressing. It just sounds the best to me, and it's the one that the Beatles and George Martin and Jeff Emerick, their engineer, it's the only one that they all signed off on. as far as the only stereo one they all signed off on. And yeah, of course, the mono mix is its own thing as well, and I think everyone should also own the mono mix. But when it comes to the stereo mix, this is the one you want. So head over to the website, check this one out as well. By the way, it comes with the original insert as well, the original little Sgt Pepper goodie insert that you can like cut out if you wanted to, but why would you cut it out? Because you would just ruin it. But if you want to cut it out, you could. But you got to buy it first. So head over to needlemeetsvinyl.com, check this one out, Sgt Pepper. And I'm so excited and happy to finally have another pressing of the White Album on the website. This is a stereo pressing. Previously, I had a mono pressing on the website, but this is a stereo pressing. And this is, again, a UK stereo pressing, and it is so fantastic. When it comes to the White Album, a lot of pressings just absolutely lack low end. This one does not lack any low end. This has that pure low end that you expect from a beautiful, beautiful analog recording. This has it. The White Album, by the way, is, of course, a double album. So you get two beautiful records on the Apple label. And this is, again, a UK pressing. And these are both in just phenomenal shape. And I went through a bunch of different pressings of the White Album here. This particular pressing, and I gotta say, this one just stood out from the other ones in such a big way. It had so much more dynamics, is how I would call it, and depth. The actual songs all seem to kind of jump out of the speakers as soon as you put the needle down on this particular pressing, and that just goes to show, and that actually is why I even have this website at all, and why it is at all successful, is because this theory that you can have identical pressings of records, identical, like when it comes down to every single little detail in the dead wax, all that kind of stuff. Identical ones, but you can have one that sounds better than the other one because it's all about the way it was pressed, the equipment that it was used to press on that particular day. It's always just so different. So that's why collecting records is so, it's like an endless source of entertainment, at least for me or other like people like me who are always searching for that best sounding pressing, because you never know what you're going to get, and you never know which one's going to sound better than the one that you heard last time. So this White Album is definitely the way to go when it comes to the stereo pressing of the White Album. Now, again, I will mention that Giles Martin made a remix of this album in, I guess it was 2018 would be when he made it. And while I love that and think it's really cool all on its own, again, much like Sgt Pepper, when it comes to listening to the White Album in stereo, this is the way I want to hear it. The Giles Martin mix is really interesting and fun to listen to, and I listen to it quite often. But like I said, when it comes to listening to the White Album, I want to hear it the way the Beatles and George Martin and Ken Scott and Jeff Emmerich on some tracks, how they all wanted it to sound. This is the way they wanted it to sound, and this is the way you can get it on my website, needlemeetsvinyl.com. And by the way, this includes the original 4 photos of the Beatles, and the original poster comes with this as well. So you get the whole package here. So head on over to needlemeetsvinyl.com, check out this White Album, Sgt Pepper, and Rubber Soul. 3 albums that I think every single person in the whole wide world should own and should listen to, because they're just absolutely perfect in every single way. And if you want to hear them in the best way possible, I think listening to them via vinyl and via these exact pressings is the way to go. Now I gotta say, stay tuned for some, by the way, I'm still kind of dealing with some like dental work I've had, so I'm kind of speaking a little bit more in a weird way than I normally do. I know I normally speak weird anyway, but even more so now. So I appreciate you putting up with my weird dialogue right now. Anyway, I wanted to say that I have some more Beatles albums coming probably later this week, so stay tuned for Abbey Road, Yellow Submarine, A Hard Day's Night, and Beatles for Sale. They will all be hitting the website very, very soon. So stay tuned for those. I really can't talk today. And head to the website, needlemeetsvinyl.com. Check out these 3 Beatles albums and pick them up while you can. So that's it for now. Stay healthy, stay happy, and Bye for now.